Good morning, everybody. It's Brooke with Mrs. Cog Hill Farm, and I'm starting off with the cows this morning. Tater was mooing so loud as soon as I walked out of the door of the house. I thought, what in the world's going on? Something bad's happened. But it's just Tater letting everybody know that she's got to have her breakfast. She's one motivated cow, and we got to get everybody taken care of this morning, including Moody and Matilda. Moody and Matilda still get their lubricant in their feed, so that's why they're eating out of buckets. I put Moody enough to have his medication on, and then I put some in the trough so he can move over and share with Tater. Same goes for Matilda down here. She's got her red bucket down there with her medicine on it. And then Mildred and Little Man, well, they get along just fine, so they share that trough. And y'all, I've said it before and I'm gonna say it again. I cannot believe how well Matilda is doing. If you didn't know what she was like when she came here, you would have no idea that this cow was not even able to walk. We had to help her get in the trailer because she literally drugged that front leg, took her to Auburn University. They really did not have hope for her getting completely over what she had going on in that joint. And then Dr. D recommended Lubricin, an all-natural supplement, which we started giving her, and she is, I mean, look at her. Look at her leg. It's always going to be a little bit swollen. Come here, girl. Come here. Show everybody how good you can walk. Come here. Come on. Come on. She said, I'm not a dog, Mama. Come on. Look at that. Look at that girl. I'm so happy. Not only am I happy, I'm so thankful to Lubricin for reaching out to us and being willing to sponsor Matilda and get her on to her happy life, which she so much deserves. She's been through so much in her life, and I can't be more happy. I can't talk about it anymore. I'm just that happy. All right, Tater, you and Little Man, y'all got your breakfast. I see Little Man's getting him some milk this morning. He's enjoying him a all-you-can-eat buffet after he had his grain this morning. And I hope you and your bovine friends have a wonderful, wonderful day. I must share with everybody that when I woke up this morning, the temperatures were 57 degrees, and that is a touch of fall. So it's coming. It's coming, boys and girls, as Matilda heads this way. Look at her. Goodness gracious. So I'm headed over to let the goats out, and I must also let you guys know that Sunday I did not have a video, and that was because my little Pomeranian Gidget was very, very sick. Friday morning I had to rush her to the vet, which was who we previously used before Dr. D in Marion, Alabama. And that is because Dr. D works a full-time job for the state. He's actually the state veterinarian, and he's in an office all day, not practicing veterinary medicine. He does that when he gets off of his day job. And I didn't think Gidget was going to make it. She was not good at all. And luckily, after an IV was administered, she had an x-ray to determine that there was something in her small intestine that was almost blocking her ability to go to the bathroom. We gave her some laxatives. We got things moving. We got her on an antibiotic, and I'm happy to report that Gidget is almost back to 100%. So thankful for those guys over at Marion Veterinary Clinic who got Gidget back on her way to being her crazy self. All right, goats, I'm ready to see some jumping around. I mean, Jesse's over there rolling in y'all's stall, taking a dust bath, but as cool as these temperatures are this morning, I need to see everybody moving. Everybody needs to be hopping and jumping and enjoying these cooler temperatures, kind of like I am. as I take the bovine buckets back to the barn, I heard somebody let me know that, did y'all hear that? It's probably time to feed Pookie and Peaches. All right, I got y'all's feed soaking. It's probably ready. Let me go check on it. All right, got Miss Peaches ready and Miss Pookie ready. Are y'all ready to eat? I see you. I see you peeking. All right, boss lady. Here you go, Peach. There you go. Your vitamins down in there too. Don't miss that part. Here you go, Miss Pocket. I'm gonna go get your door open so when you get finished with your breakfast, you can head out, okay? As soon as she gets finished, she starts whinnying and she's ready to go out the gate. So I gotta have that ready for Pocket when she gets finished with her breakfast. And also I gotta pull this gate shut between her and Peaches so Pocket doesn't try to finish up if Peaches left anything. All right, Pocket, you look like you've been rolling around during the night. Get you cleaned up, get your shavings off of you. Yeah, you can eat and be brushed, can't you? Get two things done. Because when she gets finished, she's got to go. All right, girl. You starting to put on your winter coat. I bet that means temperatures are going to drop below 57. That's all right. You and Peaches keep each other warm. All right, that's better. You look good. You look good. And you're not having much hair come out either. Much better. Here we go. All right, sweet girl. Told y'all, I think you just caught a glimpse of her, but I didn't even get the stall door shut good, and she had to go. Soon as she finishes eating, she's out on the grass, enjoying her life in the pasture. So if you guys saw our last video, you realize that we did rehome Goldie over to Catherine at G&G Farm. Nugget, Ernest T, and Opie are all doing well. They are all still in this pasture over here where we have swapped out the horses and the goats, and everybody's doing well. And Goldie had started doing her mating call, so to speak. We knew it was getting time to her to start laying eggs, and she and Nugget, being brother and sister, we could not take the chance of them reproducing together, which PETA over at Milligan Farm has been a mentor to us about emus, and we didn't realize how big of an issue it is with inbreeding and emus, and brother and sister breeding is a no-no. So we had to do what was best for them, and that was to separate them, because it's every time we turned around, Nugget was sitting on eggs again, Goldie was laying, and now she has a mate in Otis over at G&G, and she can lay eggs to her heart's content. He can sit on them when he's of age, and there won't be any worries with reproduction. Now in the wild, emus do not mate for life. The female lays her eggs, she goes on to another male, she gets fertilized again, she lays another clutch. As long as an emu has another of their kind, they're absolutely fine. And that's what we are finding with Ernest T, Opie, and Nugget. They all get along. Willie's over here shaking his head yes. Willie, don't you think that was the best thing to do, buddy? Yes. Yes. By far, that was the best thing we could have done. Now, we have been working on you guys' pasture, and we're going to get y'all fixed up. It's not going to be too much longer. No, it's not going to be too much longer. We're going to have y'all moved, and y'all are going to be in your permanent position. All right, let me get you some food. All right, got everybody fed. Chickens are last, and I'm headed over there now, and I got a problem. I got a problem that I did not know how I was going to fix. So I've been on the research Google. I've been just trying to figure out what in the world the answer was to what I got going on. And I think I've got it figured out. I know I've got it figured out. I've just got to take care of it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, anxiously awaiting some scratch this morning. So I don't know if y'all could even see it or not, but before I go in, I'm gonna go over here and see if I can show you. So this is sun hemp, and we plant this for a cover crop. Well, in that sun hemp is a flock of songbirds, and that flock of songbirds is gonna be here no matter if this sun hemp was here or not. They are simply looking for food. The chicken coop is not off limits to them. So that leads me to what we got going on today. Right, Ryan? Get y'all a little bit of scratch this morning. So I recently lost a chicken. I came out to feed just like I am today, and there she laid. And I picked her up and I didn't find anything wrong with her. You know, of course, your immediate thought is, well, was it a hawk attack? Did something, get her? Nothing. There was no signs of any kind of illness on the outside as far as her eyes being swollen, or there was no puncture wounds, nothing. So obviously on a bird that's no longer alive, you're able to maneuver it and look and examine in ways that you couldn't on a live animal. So when I got to looking, I realized that there was a problem, and it wasn't visible on the outside until I started looking deep. And that was that this bird had mites. And mites are something that just about all chickens are gonna have in moderation. Where do they come from? They come from songbirds. They come from the ground. They're just a natural part of chicken's life in moderation. But when it becomes a problem is when you get a lot of them. So we don't like to use a chemical treatment, especially not one that requires egg withdrawal. And I did a whole lot of research to find a product that has recently been approved by the FDA for no egg withdrawal whatsoever, and it can be administered in the water for the treatment of mites for chickens. So I just caught this girl, and I wanted to just kind of show y'all. When you part the feathers here around the neck, you can go down and you can see the skin. Well, when I'm looking, I don't see anything out of the ordinary there. She's alive. These mites are running. They are not going to be visible in places where I'm looking for them. They'll be visible around the vent, which is around the back end of the chicken. And you may not see anything at all. You may just... I don't see anything on her. But I know that since that one chicken had mites, that I need to treat my entire flock. This product, it's called Exzolt, E-X-Z-O-L-T, and I could not find it anywhere, y'all. I searched and searched, and finally I found somewhere that had it, but they were out of stock. And so I put on a notification list to let me know when it was back available. And I'm sure it's a simple fact that it's a new product. It's just approved by the FDA. People are hearing about it. They want to do the right thing by treating their flock if they have a problem with mites, be northern red mites or foul mites, and it's just selling out. So they notified me to let me know that the product was back in stock, and I immediately bought it. Today, I'm going to get this put in their water. It's not going to hurt cheese. I do need to administer enough that they can drink in 24 hours or less. So that means I'm going to empty out all the water containers, swimming pools, except for one waterer that I'm going to put their medication in. On the website, it came with a chart that told me how much medication I need for the number of birds that I have. And so I bought 2 bottles. And the reason I bought 2 bottles is because one treatment is not gonna do it. The eggs are gonna hatch out from the mites, and that cycle is gonna repeat itself. So in 7 days, I will re-administer this medication in their water to make sure that all those eggs that have hatched have been killed as well, and my chickens are free from red mites and northern foul mites. So all the other sources of water have been removed. The barrel here is completely empty. There's no water in it, and the chickens will consume the entire contents of this water. If it's still there in 24 hours, I'll dump it out. But the important thing is for them to drink all that's in there so that they get the medication, and then we will repeat this process in 7 days. Now, I would not be doing this if I didn't know that I had a problem. If that chicken had not passed away and I didn't examine it and see that there were mites, and the only reason I am is because it was confirmed. So I don't recommend that anybody go out and buy this medication just to treat your flock for potential suspect of mites, unless you have a problem. I had a problem, so I'm gonna fix it in the best of my ability. I am going to go in the coop here. It does have the wire mesh on the floor, but I'm gonna sprinkle some 7 dust in the cracks and make sure that any mites that are hiding, that are not on the chickens, are taken care of before I administer that second application in their water in the next 7 days. So, most important thing to us is to have the healthiest flock of chickens that we can have, and when we figure out we have a problem, fix it. And that's what we're doing. And there are lots of things that you can do to discourage poultry mites. One would be adding a dust bath area, and that's what I recently did. It had nothing to do with the fact that I knew that my chickens had mites. It was just something that I knew that chickens need in order to help discourage poultry mites. You can add things to your dust bath like wood ash, diatomaceous earth. You can add herbs that deter mites. Lavender's one of them. Just do your research. Nothing is going to completely prevent poultry mites because they do come from wild birds, and as long as they're wild birds, there's going to be poultry mites. You can just do things that will help to discourage them. Cleaning out your coop is one of the top things. If you have a coop that has bedding in it, such as shavings or whatever you use for bedding for your chickens, those mites are going to hide in there, and if you let it get past its prime and don't clean it out, then they're going to harbor in there, and that's going to just be a problem. So one reason we did the wire mesh flooring is to prevent having any type of bedding on the floor. Now, I realize if you live in a cold climate, you probably don't want a wire mesh flooring where there's air coming through, and you need a way to keep your chickens warm. But that was one of the factors when considering what type of flooring to use in our coop. We didn't want to have bedding in there that was going to harbor mites. So just think of ways that you can improve your coop and your flock in order to help prevent mites. So there's something that I have to confess to you guys, and that is, as you're looking at my basket of eggs that I gathered today, there are not any white eggs. And I just felt the need to have a white egg layer. The day before Gidget got sick, I went in our local feed store and I found something that I could not pass up, because every day when I gather eggs, I've got a beautiful, colorful array of eggs, but I don't usually have a white egg unless Dolly or Cotton lays. And they're Polish chickens, so they're older. They're on the end of their egg laying cycle. It's very rare that I get an egg from those girls. And I said I wasn't going to buy any more chickens until I went in the feed store and I found these. This is a chicken that we had at the old farm. They're called Anconas. And y'all, I have always loved these chickens. This breed is relatively rare. It's a Mediterranean breed, and they're literally polka dotted when they're full grown. They're known to be flighty. They're not a chicken that you would want to try to confine in a coop. They'll do well in our area because we do let them free range. They will have a fence that, of course, they can fly over if they feel the need. But I don't think that they're gonna, I think that they're gonna stick with their flock. We didn't have any trouble with them at the old farm. Not to say that they won't continuously fly out of the fence here. If they do, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But it is a chicken that I absolutely love. Jason was with me. I said, okay, there's 6 of them. Jason said, you want to get all 6 of them? I said, yeah, I do. So the lady started boxing the chicks up. We quickly realized that there were 3 chicks hiding. So I had to get those 3 last ones. So I ended up buying 9 of these Ancona chickens to add to our flock. We've got enough hot weather left to not have to worry about putting the brooder in the milk room to maintain the temperature. I am just in love with these chicks. Now, they are a little crazy. They're not a chicken that you would buy to cuddle with and expect to sit still because it's just not their temperament. But they're a white egg layer. They lay more eggs in a year than a white leghorn does, and that should tell you something about the ability that they have to lay eggs. That's quite a bit of eggs. But y'all look them up, Ancona. They are beautiful chickens, and it's always been one of my favorites. Always been one of my favorites. So to add these to the flock, it's just something incredible. We should be able to move these in the new coop, not have to put them in the old coop, and there'll be plenty of room for 9 new chicks. Well, I appreciate each and every one of you guys watching this video today. And Topper and myself hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day, whatever you may find yourself doing. Jessie too. Jessie just needs a hug. Y'all don't forget. Give somebody a hug if they need it. Say something positive and be nice, right, Jessie? Y'all be good.